Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Kharatun Najah binti Rafi'i, 1200937.
Hi, I'm Siti Naziha binti Miran Kamaru Zaman and my matric number is 1200958. In this video, we would like to present to you about the fascinating topic of geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is a form of renewable energy derived from the heat generated within the Earth's core. It is a sustainable and reliable source of power that can be harnessed for various applications, including electricity generation.
The word geothermal is derived from the Greek words geo meaning earth and thermos meaning heat. Geothermal power has been used since ancient times, at least in those places on Earth where geysers and hot springs spontaneously bubble up from the Earth. It was, however, not until the 20th century that the vastness of the reserves of underground heat throughout the planet's interior was appreciated, and the first usage of geothermal power for electricity generation was demonstrated in 1904, generating significant amounts in 1911, when a power plant was built in Larderello, Italy. Subsequent progress of installing geothermal electrical generating capacity has continued since that pioneering development at an exponentially expanding rate. In fact, the capacity during the 80 years preceding 2000 has been growing approximately exponentially with an 8.5% annual growth rate since 2000. The global usage of geothermal has accelerated just as rapidly, both because of the push for energy alternatives and recent technological advances. Geothermal energy's historical usage demonstrates that humans have long recognized the potential benefits of tapping into the Earth's natural heat. In modern times, geothermal energy has become an increasingly important part of the global energy mix due to its numerous advantages. These remarkable facilities harness the Earth's natural heat to generate electricity. Let's explore the three main types of geothermal power plant technologies: dry steam, flash steam, and binary cycle. Dry steam power plants, the oldest type, utilize hydrothermal fluids that are predominantly steam. This is a relatively rare occurrence in nature. Moving on to the next type, we have flash steam power plants, which are the most common geothermal power plants in operation today. These plants rely on fluids with temperatures above 182 degrees Celsius, pumped from deep underground. The high-pressure fluids are then directed to a low-pressure tank at the surface. As the pressure changes, some of the fluid rapidly transforms or flashes into vapor. This vapor drives a turbine connected to a generator, producing electricity. If any liquid remains in the tank, it can be flashed again to extract additional energy. Lastly, we have binary cycle power plants, which offer an exciting advantage. They can utilize lower temperature geothermal resources, making them suitable for deployment in more locations. In binary cycle plants, the geothermal reservoir fluids never directly contact the turbine units. Instead, low-temperature fluids, below 182 degrees Celsius, pass through a heat exchanger with a secondary or binary fluid. This binary fluid has a lower boiling point, and even the modest heat from the geothermal fluid causes it to flash into vapor. This vapor then drives the turbines, spins the generators, and generates electricity. To delve deeper into the topic of geothermal energy, let's explore the key characteristics, properties, and design considerations involved in harnessing this valuable resource. Number 1. Heat source. Geothermal energy relies on the heat stored within the Earth's crust, which originates from two primary sources. First, the radioactive decay of minerals deep within the Earth produces a significant amount of heat. Next is reservoir. A geothermal reservoir refers to an underground zone where hot water or steam accumulates. It is crucial to identify and characterize these reservoirs accurately to determine their suitability for energy extraction. One of the critical factors in assessing reservoir viability is the permeability of the surrounding rocks, Highly permeable rocks allow the flow of geothermal fluids, facilitating efficient extraction. Additionally, the presence of fractures in the rocks enhances fluid movement within the reservoir, maximizing energy production. Number 3. Well design. Geothermal wells are drilled into the Earth's crust to extract the hot water or steam from the reservoir. The design and depth of these wells depend on several factors, such as the specific geothermal resource being targeted and the geological characteristics of the location. Deep wells are typically required to access high-temperature reservoirs, while shallower wells can be sufficient for lower-temperature resources. While geothermal is a clean and renewable energy source, it's essential to understand its effects on the environment. Let's dive into the details. One aspect to consider is the release of gases. During geothermal plant operations, although geothermal plants emit some noxious gases, the concentrations are relatively low. In cases where emissions are a concern, plants may be required to install emission controls. These gases may include a small amount of radon, which is a byproduct of uranium decay. Radon can be a health concern in homes, but when it comes up from the earth and is released outdoors, it poses minimal harm. Geothermal power plants also address greenhouse gas emissions, such as carbon dioxide (CO2), compared to fossil fuel sources. Geothermal electricity production typically emits far less CO2. Geothermal power plants have a relatively small land footprint. Compared to other energy sources, they occupy a relatively small land area, making efficient use of space. Geothermal power plants do require a source of fresh water, but unlike other energy sources like nuclear, coal, gas, or oil, the water used in geothermal plants is continually recycled. It helps minimize the impact on freshwater resources. While geothermal energy is generally considered environmentally friendly, there have been instances of land subsidence in some areas due to geothermal plant operation. Additionally, in rare cases, geothermal operations have been associated with induced seismic activity. Measures are taken to mitigate these risks, such as deep drilling to prevent groundwater contamination and careful management of hydraulic fracturing processes. In conclusion, geothermal energy offers tremendous potential as a sustainable and reliable source of power. Its historical usage, exemplified by places like Bath, demonstrates the enduring appeal and benefits of harnessing the Earth's heat as we strive for a cleaner and more sustainable future. Geothermal energy stands out as a promising solution by embracing this renewable resource. We can reduce our environmental impact and pave the way for a greener and more sustainable world. That's all for the video. Thank you for your attention.